Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Fist, where on this particular program we review your and our favorite action/action comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California, Ozzy V. And with me, as always, on this program, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler Greg Larson. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing great. Although I do have to ask, does anyone else, when you hear the first couple notes of the intro, you're going to listen to it next time, kind of start hearing the Mentos commercial in their head?
Nope.
Listen
Not
to it
at
next
all.
time. It'll happen. It'll happen.
No, I guarantee it won't. I
Okay.
guarantee it won't. Because
You'll
I
hear
honestly don't even know what you're talking about. I mean,
What?
I know the Mentos commercials, but I don't think of that. Does not cross
The
my
jingle?
mind.
It's just like the first two notes. That's all it is. And then, yeah. Anyway.
Nope. I'm too excited for the intro of Fist.
It is a fun intro. I do
It's
love
an
the
amazing
intro.
Absolutely. Also with us, ladies and gentlemen, Flesh Wound producer Todd. How you doing, Todd?
Chilling.
I know you're so excited.
I'm excited. I'm really excited to talk about.
Well, I mean, if you have it ready, do you have a trailer ready to go? We're reviewing and discussing Bad Boys. It was released on April 7th, 1995, rated R. Todd, could you please roll that trailer?
It was brilliant. It was foolproof. It was the perfect crime. But for Miami detectives Marcus Burnett and Mike Lowry,
Buenos dias, mi amor.
it was the ultimate nightmare.
This was our career bust, which is what, $100 million?
Just do what you do, only faster.
Let's try to do this right. No gunshots, no dead bodies. Well, you know, if I recall correctly, the last couple dead bad guys belong to you. Please, you ain't even trying to compare body counts. Should I keep going all day? I'm out.
Now, this case
We got 72 hours before the FBI and the DEA walk in here and shut us down.
You know, you drive almost slow enough to drive Miss Daisy.
this murder. And this witness.
You ain't with the bad guys now. You with the cops.
This is your getaway car? What is this, a family station wagon? Oh my God, you got a baby seat in the back.
Are going to put them
Look at you. Can you stay focused? What are you talking about? I'm focused. Yeah, focused on all this scattered ass around here.
to the ultimate test. Columbia Pictures presents
Don't be alarmed, we're Negroes.
Oh man, no, that's too much bass in your voice. That scare white folks.
Martin Lawrence,
We were wondering if we can borrow some brown sugar.
Will Smith,
You see, you something wrong with you. What's up?
the law will be served. Justice will be done.
You forgot your boarding pass.
And boys will be boys. Bad boys. What you gonna do?
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the trailer for Bad Boys, again released on April 7th, 1995, rated R, with a runtime of 119 minutes, directed by Michael Bay, written by George Gallo for the story, and screenplay by Michael Berry, Jim Holland, and Doug Richardson, starring Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Initial thoughts on this? Everybody first became familiar, for the most part, a lot of people, I should say that. Pardon me, Todd. I know you correct me. A lot of people's first introduction to Will Smith was with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Mhm.
So to see him in a action comedy role paired with Martin Lawrence, when I was a kid, I mean, who who doesn't remember, Martin used to air on
Right.
Fox. So it's kind of exciting to see the two of these guys. And I think for me, at the time that I saw it, I think it was about 14 when I saw it. And I think the Michael Bay element at the time that I was just, like at that age, I was willing to be more forgiving, obviously, with movies. And I think one of my favorite scenes from this movie, when I first saw it, I thought to myself, this is such a great action movie. But I watch it now and I just was laughing the entire time through it because it was so ridiculous. But-
Well, you have to remember everything in this is a trope now of a Michael Bay movie too.
Yeah.
And I think actually this series serves as one of those because unfortunately, we're not going to be reviewing the Bad Boys 2 anytime soon. But that just kind of the budget production of Bad Boys 1 and Bad Boys 2, basically they added a 0 to the sequel is what it felt like. Although a very, very similar scene, which we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But excuse me.
To kind of put this in perspective, you have to look at who's top billed on both of the first two films. It's not Will Smith.
It's Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Cool,
That was actually a sticking point on the third one.
So the third one is starring Will Smith, Martin Lawrence.
And I'm sure, I think technically they're equally billed, but.
Right. Well, I mean, Martin Lawrence was bigger than Will Smith at this time.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, Will Smith was a bubblegum rapper and Fresh Prince on TV. Well, both same person, so.
But I mean, it's still relatively new to the whole everything.
Yes.
So,
he wasn't out smacking the comedians yet. No.
yeah. Martin Lawrence was the first comedian he wanted to smack, but he couldn't do that.
Well,
so he just held that all for Chris Rock.
Gotta give him something for Shanae.
Right. Oh man, that's great. Martin TV show reference.
I want to hear what Kat has to say about that, but that's a whole nother story.
Indeed. All right. So this had a lot of fun moments, like humor and action. I have the humorous moments written down, but the one action scene that I was referring to, I did not. I'll just jump into that right now. You have a scene when there's a car chase happening and the vehicle that the two happen to commandeer has barrels of ether hanging in the back rear part of the vehicle. And what made me just start bust up laughing is how they conveniently picked this one vehicle, right? Of all the, we need to catch them. Let's pick this one ice cream truck, right? Like instead of a car, right? And that vehicle that they hijacked just happens to have explosive material in the back is just too funny. Like to see that happen in a movie. It's like that's something that would happen in a video game. So for it to like play out in a movie, it's not that it really like took me out of it because I was still having fun with it, but it was still like, come on.
It's like they were like, we need some explosives in this scene. How do we do it? And someone was just like, well, put them there.
Yeah, exactly. Why are we beating around the bush?
I believe
that's
that
Michael
is Michael Bay.
Yeah. So, Michael, we're having a hard time because we want to use these effects here on the freeway, but we're not sure why they would have explosives on the freeway. The car that they take to chase the guys, those will have explosives in the back.
It is LA, obviously.
Wait, like a real car? Because will the explosives be in the back? Make it an ice cream truck. They commandeer an ice cream truck to chase these guys. Okay, so just to make sure we're on the same page, I don't hate this idea, but just to make sure we're on the same page, they're going to take an ice cream truck to catch up to guys in a chase. Is that where we're at? Or whatnot?
Well, obviously, if they had drugs in there too, it was obviously souped up to outrun the law. So of course they could catch up. See, you got to fill in those blanks.
I didn't fill in that blank.
Right?
I apologize.
Solved it.
Wow.
I've turned around. It's going to be a 5 at the end now. Watch.
Todd is a Michael Bay whisperer. He'll help us translate any Michael Bayisms so that they make sense. You should stick around for Transformers. All right, but that was that action movie that action moment that just made me start busting up laughing because it was so ridiculous. But in terms of a joke, it was more that it was a Richard Pryor reference, and you had Marcus arguing with his wife, and you had Mike come in, and that's when Martin Lawrence's character Marcus says, "Hey, could you just go downstairs and have a Coke and a smile?"
I popped hard.
So anybody who knows the Richard Pryor routine knows how that ends, and I love that because I mean, guarantee a large chunk of the audience that went to go see this opening.
Oh yeah,
probably did not. So that was
there was people who loudly said it opening weekend in the theater. I'm not saying I knew who it was, but it may have been someone I knew, may have been me. But there was multiple people who said it in the theater, just like automatic.
Oh, that's good to hear. I don't think that was happening in Irvine.
Yeah, well,
that's my point.
Friday night, 8:00, Orange, California. You got a little bit of everyone there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a fair point. Norwalk, though, would be a fun one to re-release or watch the re-release.
They're actually a much more respectable audience than the Orange one. I think it's because it's closer to real LA versus closer to the South County.
And I think perhaps the people that go to the AMC in Orange are in a bad mood because they still have terrible seats in some of these theaters.
That doesn't help.
I mean, Do
you mean all of them other than Dolby Cinema? All the rest suck, even the IMAX ones. I like the stadium IMAX better than those rockers that are all.
Got to go to the IMAX at Puente Hills, my friend.
Oh, they have the other one.
Pro tip, ladies and gentlemen. I believe it's the IMAX, the Universal City Walk, and the IMAX, the Puente Hills are the only IMAX theaters in the AMC chain that have recliners. You're welcome. All right, moving on. The Coke and a Smile line that I've favorite at that moment in the scene. Todd, did I steal yours?
Well, that is probably, but it's all right. I was going to go a different way because this movie, the first hour was killing me. And I think I know what it is because I've enjoyed this in the past. I don't like Tia Leone. She just annoys me. There's something about her I don't like. It's not a woman thing. I'm not Dan. Just her in particular. There's something that doesn't connect. Like I don't think her acting's good. I think she's very stiff. Yeah. So my favorite thing is the soundtrack. It gives us Tupac's "Me Against the World," which pops in about an hour in. It also has Warren G, DUC, Notorious Big and the Brat. It was I played the soundtrack more than I watched the movie at the time. But yeah, since Ozzy took the other bit I enjoyed, I'll do that. You know what? I got one. During the shootout, or not the shootout, during the liquor store and the clerk pulls the gun, there's the I'll blow you when he's talking about shooting him. Well, that's just like, juvenile humor, but that did get me. Yeah, that whole scene might be a little inappropriate today now, but whatever. And
I saw it in front of the 12-year-old.
Well, they still play The Simpsons. You're fine. I mean, that's still on TV.
He doesn't watch The Simpsons.
Well, all right. Yee.
Ooh.
Oh, it could have been worse. At least you guys didn't have to. We're not watching Private School next.
Right.
All right, Greg. In more ways than one. Thank God. Nope. Not
it's funny because in a way you took both Todd's favorite moment and my favorite moment, although you only alluded to mine when you had mentioned early in the film, there's a point where Will Smith threatens Martin Lawrence like he's about to smack him. And I was like, oh man, that's like he's been doing this all his life, apparently. So just because of recent situations, it brought me an unintended chuckle. So I definitely enjoyed that moment.
I have to say, this movie made me kind of want to watch the new one less. That was normally not supposed to happen when I watched the first one. I just did
Interesting.
not want. I was just yelling at Ozzy all day. I was like, first I gotta watch that stupid. When we talked about Bad, I was like, I don't want to watch Bad Boy. I was like, God, everything. You know what, Ozzy? Payback's next week. We're about to pick
Oh
movies.
man, okay.
Are we gonna get that forehead movie? Yes.
No.
Well, eventually, you have to.
No.
Eventually, Greg gets a pick, and if that's what he
That's right.
thinks.
That's right.
You know,
Remember,
there
Ozzy,
should be-
you
there should be
only get
laws
one
against
veto.
vices.
You get one veto a year. Remember that. You haven't used one this year. I can't remember what you vetoed last time, but you made the whole system, Ozzy.
Jack Frost.
Such a good movie.
Okay, so we
Jack Frost 2 this year.
just- okay, Greg.
So will you save your veto for his or my suggestion?
That's not what this program
Oh.
right now. That's not what this episode is about. It's about Bad Boys, and I believe Greg, you just shared a moment, of course, when it got into a really intense argument, and then it just kind of dissipated there into some humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny stuff. If you know those people, that can be really funny.
I did laugh that you thought the pictures were of his lover. All the pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
So I always have fun with this movie. I always have fun with the second one. Haven't seen the third one as many times as I've seen the second movie more times than I can count, just because it takes
I
this
think the second-
ridiculousness on another level.
I think it is. I think I do prefer that one. I'm sure we'll eventually tackle it, but we're just not in a rush.
We will. Unfortunately, okay. So, whole reason why this is coming up, why we chose Bad Boys for this, because we have the new Bad Boys. That's Ride or Die is the fourth installment, releasing on June 7th. So we wanted to throw this in there, and we'll actually build up to when the Blu-ray release happens of Bad Boy Ride or Die. We'll get some more of these Bad Boys movies in there, and then have a better look. I'm very excited to watch them.
I just like
but
was like,
we
did
are
I just
still-
agree to do more Bad Boys? And I'm just like, God damn it.
Well, sticking in with this first film, I always have fun with it, and Todd, maybe like I could see what you're talking about, how it kind of drags, but I think perhaps because I just saw it at the right time, like as a teenager, like just watching stuff blow up was like, this is
get it.
cool, right? So this was the franchise, like you said, this became known as the Michael Bay tropes, and I was more than happy to just go along with the ride. However, I do not like how I think in terms of action movies, your best action scene should be at the climax, right?
Right.
And yeah, you had the shootout happen, but after you're showing me barrels of chemicals being thrown onto a freeway and then them shooting at them like a video game, and then just seeing all these explosions happen on the freeway, and oh my gosh, you were able to just hit the brakes just in time so you didn't hit the wall. It's a level of ridiculousness that I just had fun with, and call me a sucker for it, call me biased. However, because the climax did seem a little less ridiculous, I guess, than this one scene that took place in the middle, it kind of went down for me a little bit. But I'm perfectly fine giving this 4 out of 5.
Interesting, because I didn't even think about that ending that way, but you make a great point, and because that ending was a little like, all right, that's it. But like the rest of the movie was a lot of fun. Had a few good laughs, had some great action at times, characters were fun. I think I'll stick with a 3.5. I think it just grading closer to what other action films bring or comedy action films. I had fun, but I wouldn't say this like knocked it out of the park, but it was definitely a fun flick.
It's no Bad Boys 2, is what he's saying.
I will.
I've yet to see it.
Really? Okay, that's fun.
Well, they didn't have the 20-year gap between like 2 and 3. Like I think that one was like a 5-year gap.
Right.
That's the thing. This thing's about to be 30 years old. Like next year it turns
Yeah.
30. It's a totally different style of action film. Like you show this, like how did it go showing it to a youngster? I mean, it is a different style than what you see now.
Okay.
It is.
Yes.
It's like
he was like watching, like he was paying attention. And
did he struggle on that first hour too?
no, okay. So this was one of those things like, hey, I gotta watch this movie. You
Right.
can, go ahead and watch along. Here's, a Lego you're working on. I got him a discontinued Lego X-Wing. So he was working on that, right? And there was moments where he would be looking at, the set and like putting some stuff together, and then stuff would happen on the TV, and he just would lean back. And then the set wouldn't be touched. And a lot of that was in the first hour. So he was entertained, or so I believe, with what he was watching. Despite the 109 uses of the word, the F word, that I found out after okay, so the first scene happened, and then the dialogue that they had, and then my girlfriend's like, wait, could we talk about this for a second? And then so I start looking up. Pro tip, anybody who has children in the household, on the IMDb page, there is a parent's guide that'll tell you everything in terms of violence, nudity, all the stuff.
I like to read it because they're funny, but yes.
It is funny because when it goes into cursing, there's only one note, and it says 109 times the F word is used.
Wait, it counts it for all the different movies?
It counted. No, this
damn.
one particular, because it's like a Wikipedia thing where anybody can just add stuff to it, right?
Got it.
So one poster, that's all it said, was just 109 uses of the word. And when she read that, 109?
Did you pull up Scarface and be like, that's nothing? It's only an extra hour and it has 8 times more.
Oh my gosh. Scarface. Oh, that's so good. Okay, so
that's a fist contender possibility.
We will get there for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait, no. Oh, so we gave the rating. Todd, your rating needs to come up next.
I did. See, here's the thing. This movie, I did enjoy. It's one that's hard for me to rate because I did not have a good experience. But this has its baggage too, like the whole Michael Bay tropes. Will Smith just himself, it's kind of like I look at him now and I'm like, after his whole thing, I kind of look at him like a bitch, but it is what it is. So it really affected it for me this time more than any other times. So and I don't know if that's it just didn't work like it used to for me. I'm hoping 2's still fun. I'm gonna go right in the middle, and I'm just gonna give it a 2.5 because I'm average. I get why people like it, but this one, my enjoyment level, I really liked about half of it.
I could see that. Because whereas this one didn't have the kind of budget that the second one had, this one probably relied more on character work between both Lawrence and Smith. So when it was first released, you still had that the good feeling about Will Smith. You didn't have anything negative about him that you'd heard or all this other drama. Then this happens, and it's still relatively fresh in the mind.
See, his wife's even screwing this one up.
Which, by the way, can I just? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go.
No, I was gonna say I could still watch Menace to Society, no problem, and that's got Jada in it. So,
speaking of which, last Monday at trivia, which was specifically at the Rush Barn Grill, which happens every Monday at 6:30, the intermission question was given 2 celebrities who voiced 2 different characters in the film, and the year the film was released, name the animated film, or whatever on the line. So I'm going over these names, like Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, 1999, whatever. And then I get to Jada Pinkett Smith, Chris Rock, 2000. And then I paused for a second. I was like, he really put that in there. Because it's the second it left my mouth, whereas Jada Pinkett Smith, Chris Rock. Oh, then I had to say, I'm not sure if he did it on purpose or not, ladies and gentlemen, in case that's what you're thinking. But Madagascar, FYI, they both.
Yeah.
And just in case anybody was curious.
Right.
So, any other thoughts on Bad Boys before we conclude this episode for the evening?
I'm
Good
excited for the
soundtrack.
sequel.
I recommend it. Check it out on Spotify.
Okay, sorry. Greg cannot wait for the sequel, and Todd is saying check out the soundtrack on Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay.
I shouldn't
All
say
right.
that because I listen to it on YouTube Music. I don't mess with Spotify. I'm a YouTube guy.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they're paying you the big bucks to rep them.
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to stream this movie, you're welcome on the Hulu platform for any subscribers to Hulu. Of course, is available to rent or purchase wherever you consume your favorite digital content. Greg and Todd, do you have anything else before we head out for the evening?
Check out Farce this Wednesday, or check out Flesh Wound Horror this Wednesday.
And check out Flesh Wound Farce next week. And of course, if you are in the Orange County area, you can check out Trivia with me being the host every Monday at the Rush Bar and Grill at 6:30 in Lake Forest, every Tuesday at the Brewery in Placentia beginning at 7 o'clock, every Wednesday in Los Alamitos at Griffin's Grill at 7:30, and every Thursday at the Honey Pot Meadery in Anaheim, also at 7:30, free to play, and prizes for the top winning teams. All right, for world famous juggler Greg Larson and world famous Flesh Wound producer Todd, I'm Ozzy V. And we'll see you next week on what will be a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce. But thank you for watching Flesh Wound Fist.